another thing to consider too is to always remind ourselves in applying these keys for caring for leaders is that ultimately church is God's idea. It's God's design. His protocols, when he commands certain protocols of behavior and vetting, qualification, they're non-negotiables. They need clear defining. And that ultimately church is not actually about us. It's his idea for his glory. Paul tells us in Ephesians 3:10 that all of these beautiful things that are true about our salvation, to call us in, to collect us as a body, as the church, as redeemed people in his image, in his likeness, all of this is so that through the local church, there would be an understanding that God is the all-wise and glorious one in the cosmos. Right? That through the church, Paul says, the manifold wisdom of God would be on display. And so doing church his way is the only way in which it will then display his manifest glory. That we undermine our ability to bear witness and worship to the God of the universe when we allow our preferences to take priority over his design and his protocols. But that's very easy to do. A lot of times we come into a church setting and I prefer this, I prefer that. Oh, I like this. There's this one church I went to and they did it this way. And to check our preferences and to ensure that our preferences are in submission to God's protocols for the way the church ought to be. And so when we're reminded, oh yeah, it's not about me. It's about him. It's about glorifying him. When I come in on a Sunday morning at the corporate gathering, I may or may not like the song. I may or may not like the person I'm sitting next to. But it's not about me. It's about him. Because in Acts chapter 20, it says that he bled and died for the church, his people. He bought them with his own blood. That is us. And so do you think God cares about the church? Probably more than we do. Way more than we do. And so he cares that we do it his way, and we undermine our ability to be effective at flourishing in the Flathead Valley and bearing witness and worship if we make it about ourselves.